Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Crush Cinnamon. It's your host McKenna. How have you been? I know it's been a while. Things have been happening in my world, so much to catch up on. But first and foremost, I want to say thank you so much to all the listeners, all the new people who've joined on board. I know I keep saying this, but I will not stop because we've just had some wonderful news this week. Our podcast is doing really well. Honestly, you guys are promoting it, you're sharing, you're listening, you're doing everything for this podcast growth. It's been hard work, but it's wonderful to just see the results. And there's a survey and actually what do I call it? That was carried out globally for social podcasts, social capital podcast, and we ranked 6th. Imagine worldwide. I was just so amazed that my little humble side of the world, of my thoughts, and a place where I share what what moves me and what I see in society and what I'd hope for our society in terms of social capital and culture and all these things is being recognized, and it's because of you. So thank you so much, all of you. Keep listening, keep reviewing our podcast, keep interacting, give us feedback. Honestly, that's the only way we grow. And on that note, we're diving into today's topic, and honestly, it's something that has made me smile. If you should see the smile on my face, it's not every day you hear this, honestly. And I want to reach out to this gentleman I will speak about. He's called Mr. Gupta, and he's from India, and he's just done the most wonderful thing in this world. So his daughter recently filed for divorce. She was married to a gentleman, an engineer, and things didn't work out. And they tried all kind of things, and it just didn't work out. And she was saying that she was being tortured and going through a lot of toxic things. And she decided to file for divorce, and everything was done. And she told her parents and everything. And in a culture, especially those who understand Asian culture, especially in India and places like that, divorce is not something very celebrated or really welcomed, especially how the in the cultural lines in India, how they are. And some marriages are arranged marriages, others are love marriages, as they call them, and some there's all kinds of things are involved in a marriage. It's whole families coming together. So check out this guy, Mr. Gupta. You know what he did? He went to his daughter's house to get her, because she was living with the in-laws, and obviously her husband. He showed up with a whole band, fireworks, full. It was like a funfair to celebrate her coming home. I couldn't believe it. I read that article and I was just like, wow, that is just out of this world, supernova kind of love. And what he posted a video, and he said, we actually celebrate marriages with a lot of pomp and music and glamour, and it's that. And he said, if a marriage fails and your daughter, you should bring them back with a lot of respect and honor, because daughters are precious. Honestly, I read that and I almost cried. I couldn't believe it, because in the society we live in, we shame people who go through divorce, especially women. We shame them. We tell them they're not able to hold families. There's all we even label them with very, very flowery names, which I won't use on this podcast. There's a lot of stigma with divorce, and there's no day you'll see somebody was celebrated for doing the right thing, for coming out of a relationship that was not working for them. even if it wasn't toxic, if it wasn't working, get out. And this gentleman, what he did for her, honestly, was just amazing. Imagine, sure, you tell your family you're going to be divorced, and they throw a party for you. And it read in the article, even the mom, the brothers were so excited. They were just like, yes. And there's something that just has stayed with me, the way the dad kept saying we should bring them back with respect and honor. And I could, wrap around my head around that, especially in a very patriarchal society that we live in, to see a dad who orchestrated all this. He's the one who organized this party and all went out and said, it's to show my daughter I love her, I respect her, and I honor her. And that is just so beautiful to see. And the article, it also says, they were asking him, what plans do you have for your child? And they're like, we have no plans for her. If she wants to chill, that's cool. If she wants to start a new life, that's fine. If she wants to have a new partner, we'll support whatever she wants. That's what we are here for. And I have talked about support and who is in your clan, what's this, in this podcast I've talked endlessly about having the right support system, having the right mechanism. And if society would do what this man did, a lot of people will not die, especially in bad relationships, because a lot of people stay when they're being beaten up, they're being tortured, they're being abused, because they don't want the social shame that comes with it. They don't want to look like a failure. They don't want to, all these things, and probably, there's money involved in it, and what will people say, and all this. If we celebrated people and treated them with respect and honor, a lot of people would be happy. A lot of people's lives would be saved. So it made me think of, what if we celebrated people came out of really difficult periods, and not shame them or do the other thing. And it reminded me of that story of the prodigal son in the Bible, where he came back home. And when the dad saw him, he threw a party, gave him the best clothes, put a ring on him, and he was just like, let's celebrate this one, because he was dead, but now he's alive. And it's you would think we should be following in these footsteps, but sadly, society now is if anything, they will make money. Bloggers will be writing for days about how this marriage has ended. I mean, just look at what's happened to Mia and what's his face, Jerry, the rapper. Their marriage it's just ended, and how things have turned ugly. The situation with Tyrese right now and his ex-wife, all these things are just, we make money out of people's misery. We write articles that are very unsavory. We don't even think about the person who's we are writing about. We don't care about their feelings, what they are going through, nothing. It's all about who the next big story, and careers moving up and all these things. And I feel this Mr. Gupta should do a masterclass on how to celebrate people when things they come out of divorce, or things don't work out, and then you just celebrate them and treat them with honor. So I just want to challenge you now, if for example your son or your daughter comes and tells you they've come out of a very abusive relationship, or a relationship that doesn't work for them, or a job. In fact, it's made me remember one of the things. I was watching a very amazing program that is called Cleaning the Airwaves. It's run by a guy called Richard in Kenya, and he interviews various people about their lives, and and it made me think about when you're making huge decisions, will they celebrate when especially the money is not coming in. So this puts me back to the story. A few years ago, I was working for this international humanitarian organization. It was a good job, and I loved it. Honestly, I loved it. I loved what we did. I loved the team I was managing, all the kind of things. But it started getting so tiring because I was covering 3 counties. I was traveling a lot. I was so tired. The minute I'd get home, literally my husband would start talking to me, I'd be asleep. And so many other things became so difficult because as I was doing various projects and coming up with ideas, my manager would orchestrate things in the opposite way, basically, and it really went south, basically. And I was just like, okay, I've had enough. And I remember I told my husband, I'm really sorry, because then I was the main Anna of the family. This is the thing, I can't do this anymore. I am dying. My soul is dying. I'm physically tired. But I need to resign. I will look for another job that it's less stressful and all this kind of things. And he was like, oh, cool and everything. But the shocking reaction came from my dad when I told him I wanted to resign and I'm not sure how things will go and I'm concerned and all these things. He first told me, one, I've been waiting for you to come to me to say that you're quitting this job because I've been seeing how it's draining you and you're not happy. 2, I am glad you're doing this for you because you need to be happy, you need to be safe, you're your only asset. So if you're going to quit, that's fine. I know you have other things, we will support you financially, all these kind of things, don't worry about it. And I tell you, that was a relief. It just lifted, I don't know, all the worries I had in this world. So when I actually put in the resignation letter and I went to my dad, for those who don't know, my dad is a church minister. He actually clapped his hands and was dancing. He put music and he started saying, hallelujah, my daughter is free. I couldn't believe it. I was just laughing. I was laughing even now. And I think of it, I'm giggling because I couldn't believe who does that. He's like, let us, and he told me, let us celebrate and thank God you've come out of something that was draining you and now you'll have life back. And I was just like, wow. So I hope to do that for somebody else, help them to celebrate a difficult situation that comes through, throw a party for them, not, be on the other side. And so I've been saying, be the one who's changing. We can change this world one person at a time, honestly. And let us stop this stigmatization of people leaving marriages or high jobs, or if their career ends in a certain way. And actually, which brings me to another point I was thinking about. I don't know if you all have watched the Beckham documentary on Netflix. It's amazing and it's very well put together, and it made me understand a lot of things about Beckham. And I was just like, how do you go through all that? You could see how people were vile towards him, threatened him, his wife, and he never retaliated. And I was just thinking, what kind of a guy is this? Somebody who serves his home and everything, and the theme all the time was just how much he loves his wife and his family. I'm not near his wife, and I was just like, that is such an amazing approach to life. And because of that, he was vilified for being in love with his wife and wanting to go see her and visit her and do all these wonderful things. It's just like, he's human, he's in love, and whenever he'd make a mistake, they booed him for years and years and years and years. And the circus continued even when he moved out of the UK. And I was just like, when do we become this kind of human beings? When? It's crazy. So I just wanted to share this few stories with you and just say this. Let us be those people who uplift others, not just celebrate them when they're doing well. Yeah. But if things don't go well, if today your friend is fired, or, especially when it's nothing to do with them, they could not have caused it. It's nothing to do with their character. Take them out, throw a party for them, take them to the theaters, celebrate them, treat them with respect and honor. Let's remember that, because That's what we are here to do as human beings. We're here to serve each other. We are here to esteem each other. We are here to make sure the next person is okay. That's all we are here to do. So thank you for listening to this podcast, to this episode. Again, thank you so much for the support. See you on the next one.